America was built on a promise that if you worked hard, followed the rules, and stayed patient, life would get better. Not perfect, but better. For a long time, that promise felt real. But today, millions of Americans are starting to question it because something has changed. This is the concerning new reality of living in America. Everyday life feels heavier than it used to, more expensive, more stressful, and far more uncertain. People are working longer hours than ever before, yet they're falling behind. They're earning more money on paper, but their lives feel smaller. And for the first time in modern history, many Americans believe their children may have fewer opportunities than they did. That alone should be alarming. Let's start with money, because that's where most people feel the pressure first. The cost of living in America has skyrocketed. Rent, groceries, gas, healthcare, insurance, nearly everything essential has gone up. Housing has become one of the biggest struggles. Rent prices have surged across the country. In many cities, a basic apartment now costs more than what a full-time paycheck can reasonably support. Buying a home, once a core part of the American dream, now feels impossible for millions. Young adults are delaying major life decisions, marriage, kids, homeownership, not because they don't want those things, but because they can't afford them. Even groceries have become a source of stress. People notice it every time they check out. The same items, the same brands, but the total keeps rising. For families living paycheck to paycheck, these increases aren't minor, they're overwhelming. Then there's healthcare. The United States spends more on healthcare than any other country, yet millions of Americans avoid seeing a doctor because they're afraid of the bill. A single medical emergency can destroy years of financial stability. Medical debt has become one of the leading causes of bankruptcy in America. That reality reveals a system that often fails the people it's supposed to protect. Now let's talk about work. Americans are working harder than ever. Many hold multiple jobs. Side hustles aren't optional anymore. They're survival tools. At the same time, job security feels fragile. Layoffs happen suddenly. Companies report record profits while cutting employees. Workers are expected to be grateful just to stay employed, even if their wages don't cover basic living expenses. Burnout has become normal. Exhaustion is constant, and rest feels like a luxury few people can afford. This pressure takes a serious mental toll. Anxiety and depression are rising across all age groups. People feel stuck, overwhelmed, and permanently behind. Social media only amplifies it. Everyone is constantly exposed to images of success, wealth, and happiness, much of it exaggerated or fake. That comparison quietly convinces people they're failing, even when they're doing their best. Another major shift is trust, or the lack of it. Trust in government has declined. Trust in media has collapsed. Trust in corporations is fading fast. Many Americans feel the system is rigged. When large corporations receive bailouts while everyday people struggle to survive. When politicians argue endlessly without solving real problems. When the rules seem different depending on how much money or power you have. People lose faith. They disengage. They stop believing things can improve. And polarization fills the space left behind. America feels deeply divided. Politics is no longer just disagreement. It's identity. Families avoid certain topics. Friendships fall apart. Every issue turns into a battle. The constant cycle of outrage, driven by media and algorithms, keeps people emotionally drained and constantly on edge. Even everyday conversations feel tense. This division affects more than politics. It shows up in workplaces, schools, and communities. People are less patient, less trusting, less connected, and loneliness has quietly become a national crisis. Despite being more digitally connected than ever, many Americans feel isolated. Community spaces are disappearing. Neighbors don't know each other. Remote work, while convenient, has left many people feeling alone. Humans weren't built for this level of isolation. Safety is another growing concern. People worry about crime. They worry about mass shootings. They worry about sending their kids to school. But they also worry about economic safety. One illness, one accident, one missed paycheck. For many Americans, there's no margin for error. And then there's the future. Ask people how they feel about the next 10 or 20 years, and you'll often hear uncertainty instead of hope. Climate change, rising debt, economic instability, artificial intelligence replacing jobs. The future doesn't feel exciting anymore. It feels unpredictable, even threatening. That shift matters. America was built on optimism. Now, many people are running on anxiety, and yet, despite everything, people keep going. They wake up, They work. They take care of their families. They find moments of joy wherever they can. That resilience is real. But resilience doesn't mean everything is okay. The concerning new reality of living in America isn't just about higher prices or political tension. It's about a growing sense that the system no longer works for the average person, that the promise feels broken. And when enough people feel that way, something eventually has to change. The question is, what comes next? Will this pressure lead to reform, to rebuilding systems that actually support working people? Or will Americans continue adapting to a life that demands more while offering less? America is still powerful, still innovative, still full of hardworking people. But opportunity without access is an illusion, and stability without fairness doesn't last. This new reality is uncomfortable, it's frustrating, and for many, it's frightening. But ignoring it won't make it disappear, because you can't fix a problem you refuse to acknowledge. And right now, the reality of living in America demands to be seen,